No black cats, just straight facts.
Triple P certified.
Listen, we can talk about odds all day. It doesn't matter what the odds are. It matters what's gonna happen. Welcome back. It's the Perfect Play Pursuit. We're here to break down UFC Mexico City, Moreno versus Kavanagh, Lonnie Kavanagh. We're coming off UFC Houston. We'll talk through that card, how we did betting on it, how we enjoyed it, if at all, and then we'll get into UFC Mexico City. Alex, coming in crispy in 1080p. I can see every dimple in your cheek, every follicle of your beard. How are you?
I'm doing swell. You know, the bets didn't necessarily pan out for me. Had a great week picking. I think I went 9 of 14, 9 and 11. Never forget. Or 9 and 12. Never forget. The day after, it's just as important. If you don't count ladies fights, which we don't around here, if you're new to the program, we do not count ladies fights. We shouldn't even break them down, in fact. But I'm doing swell. Adam, how about yourself?
You know, I was able to watch a little bit of the card. I was a little busy this past weekend, but I was able to sit down and watch some of the card, which was great. I enjoyed most of the fights. There were some that pissed me off a lot. I'm sure we'll get into that. We all have a few choice words for some of them fights. But other than that, I think I did a little worse than half. I didn't actually break down my own card from it, but I think I did a little worse than half, which that's on brand for me. I'm ass at gambling. It can be UFC, it can be basketball, it can be baseball. I'm horrible at gambling, but put me in a blackjack table and I run it. But UFC this week, some of the fights were entertaining. I did okay gambling wise in my eyes.
Alex, so you know, for me it was like this. I'm calculating how many we got right and wrong right now. So I mean, we had for me, let me see real quick. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 correct. So 8 out of 13. Where I was wrong, Yair Del Val, whatever his name is, cut him.
Just as corrupt as Krause and that other guy. Who was the guy?
Look, I'm not even talking about that. But I'm saying if you, it's like, okay, there's a couple of things at play here. One, if he did, it doesn't matter anymore if the fight against
the Midwest Choppa. What's his name?
Yeah. What's his name? The Midwest Choppa. I literally can't remember his name because I'm.
It's a whole new setup, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I'm looking so crispy. That's why I'm looking so clean. Isaac Dolgarian. I can sit here. I can look things up now. I'm my own personal Jamie. I'm out here. I'm grinding. And Jamie, these guys act like Jamie's a genius. Joe Rogan talks about the same 6 topics every episode. He fucking bookmarked them all. So he pulls them up. Oh, leopards in Africa, sauna benefits, cold plunge benefits. They're all bookmarked on his thing. That's why he's so quick with it. Go on, Luke. Sorry.
Yeah, just so, you know, all right, I'll just run through the card from my perspective real quick. Carly Judice versus Miller. Respect to Miller. Thought she won round 1. A lot of people weren't giving it to her. She had her down the whole time, took her back. Respect to Miller. Del Val cut him, whether he legitimately beat Isaac Dolgarian or not. The performance against Jordan Levitt leaves so much to be desired. There's really no room for him in the UFC. I mean, accepting bottom position, not fighting out, closing his guard, punching from the bottom, not trying to get out. You're supposed to be a jiu-jitsu black belt. You're not. You stink. Check this man's black belt. Take this man's black belt. Cut him from the UFC. We do have a Cuban problem. The problem is you ain't supposed to be here, buddy. John Lebanani versus Phil Rowe, whatever. I picked JPL. He won. Ramiz Brahimaj versus Punalele Soriano. I thought Ramiz won the fight. He lost, whatever. They both stink. Cut them both. Jocelyn Edwards versus Nora Cornoli. I thought Cornoli had a great round 1, a great start to the fight. Ended up getting pieced up, finished. Luis Scarul left a lot to be desired. Cut him as well. Alibi Idris, fine fight, fine performance. Carlos Leal, again, left a lot to be desired, but whatever, we'll give it to him. Michelle Pereira. Now here's another one. I got this one right, but I thought Ramiz won. I thought Michelle Pereira lost. So left a lot to be desired. Him and Zach Reese both. Ante D'Elia left a lot to be desired. Sergey Spivak is knockoutable. He's knockoutable in round one. He should have pressed on him more. He had him hurt at one point and got tired and didn't go for the finish. Stinks. Costa, great finish against Dan Ige. I picked him. Uros Medic, amazing finish. Called it in my sleep. Knew he would knock him out. Knew he would finish him. In fact, I bet Medic to win by finish as an underdog. Took him prop parlay to win by finish. One of the two correct picks I got in the night. The other one was, for some reason, it's not showing up on this card. I guess it got added after we did the picks. Jacoby Smith by finish. I took Smith by finish. I took Medic by finish. Would have won a lot of money if Hernandez beat Strickland, but he did not, so all good. But yeah, I picked Medic by finish, put a big bet on that. I also, took Jacoby Smith by finish. And that guy that he finished, man, he had brain surgery. And I went back and I analyzed the stoppage because Kerry Hatley, he kind of pushed him off and got like almost mad at Jacoby Smith. But it's like, I think he was just mad at like physics. He was like, wait a minute, how did he knock him out that fast from that short of a distance with those short of strikes? Like, it's almost like he had a reasonable expectation of how many strikes this guy was going to be able to take. And Jacoby Smith just blew that number out of the water and had him all kinds of knocked. I mean, there was only a few strikes landed after he was knocked out. He was still fighting. I think I counted 14 total strikes from the moment they hit the ground. He was still conscious fighting till like strike 6 or 7. Strike 9 was really what did him in. And then, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. But overall, he only landed one extra strike from the moment the ref touched him. Not a bad stoppage or a bad finish for Smith. Good fight. Overall, it was an all right card. Urus Medic was the highlight for me. But those are my thoughts.
Jordan Levitt, sensational performance, a true hero, spanking that Cuban boy on the ground.
In his hometown, like he's from Cuba, but he lives and trains in Houston, reps Houston, and you're going to put on that kind of performance, that kind of stinker?
And Jordan Levitt was spanking him, literally spanking him like a baby. Love to see that. Philip Rowe, Dusty.
Like if you're gonna be a wet blanket, kind of boring ground fight, just do a couple little cheeky things like that, and show the crowd, hey, this is why you don't want to be here. Yeah, I can humiliate you here. Like there needs to be more humiliation done.
Absolutely. And some of these guys seem to be putting on humiliation rituals within the cage. Philip Rowe, Dusty is all get out. Don't even know how it was a split decision. I thought he lost every single round. I bet on Phil Rowe. I thought he lost every single second of every single round. Sure, he had a moment or two in round 2 and 3, but absolutely terrible performance. And the only person dumber than him is the judge that gave him the win. He looks at his team and he says, "Did I get that? Did I get that?" No, you did not get that. You were nowhere close to getting that. That guy was tenacious. JPL. He was tenacious out there, absolutely beating you from pillar to post, showing you what, and I'm so sick of these guys. They come in the cage, and you got John Anik. He's historically a slow starter. Don't start slow. You only got 15 minutes in there, bud. You got to get moving quicker or you're going to lose a fight. There's only 3 rounds, right? You drop one of them, you got to win the next 2 if you want to win the fight. I'm so sick of these slow starters. I'm so sick of the desk making excuses for these guys. Phil Rowe stinks. Don't want to see him fight anymore. Absolutely pathetic, putrid. Never want to see him fight in the UFC again. Go ask Muggsy how to get your Instagram popping because that's all you care about. Punalele Soriano, I did miss that fight. I was eating dinner at my...
He lost it, man. He lost it. And the thing is, his celebration shows how much he lost it because he was more surprised than anybody.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It was just one of those, he got out-controlled in 2 of the 3 rounds. Otherwise, nothing really happened. And, 2 is more than 1. He won 1. Ramiz won 2.
Fair enough. Came back in. I missed the Garul fight. Came back in at Albi Idris. Left it a little closer than I would have liked it to be, but still Still dominant performance. I would have hoped that he would just finish Ode Osborne. Ode Osborne also dusty, also stinks. Chitty and Chiquani, that was a pretty decent fight. They were throwing hard. I do appreciate how hard they were throwing, but Chitty and Chiquani, you got to do more than that in there. Michel Pereira, I agree, Luke. He looked horrible out there. I don't necessarily think that he lost the fight, but if you're sitting here making Zach Reese look like John Jones out there, you can't be having Zach Reese, Mr. Glass Jaw, walking through your strikes and throwing back at you just as hard. Don't love that. Jacoby Smith, valiant performance, beautiful job. Hate to see it. I think that there should be 6'3" Kiwi. I think there should be an investigation on the ref for that one. If the guy just had a brain tumor, right? The closest glimpse of him getting knocked out, you got to be in there. You got to make sure that brain's protected.
How about this? How about it's on the commission, man? Don't let somebody fight if they had brain surgery. I don't know. Is that the craziest thing in the world?
I would agree. I would certainly agree with that. Maybe it's not a great career to take, or an opportunity, as Dana White says. It's not a career, it's an opportunity. Ante Delija is horrible. He is, sitting here. We're all supposed to think he's good because he's training with Tom Aspinall. He's not good. He stinks. He sat there and let fucking Sergey Spivak look like Floyd Mayweather pumping that jab on him. I thought you were a kickboxing champion, bro. Sergey Spivak shouldn't be outboxing you for a second of the fight. He was throwing that jab out there, making Ante Delija look uncomfortable. I love Sergey Spivak. I'm very disappointed in myself for going with Delija, and certainly very disappointed for having him on so many of my bets. Milky Costa, this guy, he's losing all the brown on his skin. Every single time I see him, he's whiter and whiter from that disease that he has. It's insane. Like, every single fight. I saw a picture of them all next to each other. All of his pictures from his fights.
Vitiligo.
I know, it's insane. He's going to be coming out there looking like Michael Jackson one of these days.
That's
it's
just
the same
the
disease, right?
That's just the case. I mean, but listen, Sean Strickland, hats off to Sean Strickland. Everything I said about Sean was wrong. I said, hey, he said he's happy for the first time in his life. He's coming off a long layoff. He already had the title and lost it. These are criteria. Getting a little bit older. This is criteria that makes me think we're going to see not the best Sean Strickland, but we really saw a vintage, as good as he looked against Abbas Magomedov, as good as he looked against Nasruddin Imavov, as good as he looked against really anybody, finishes Anthony Hernandez. And what it comes down to, man, Hernandez, admitted stoner. I'm done betting on guys who drink and do drugs. That's about it. I'm done betting on him. I think it makes you lazy. I think it makes your knees weak. And then at worst, you got to come off of it to fight in Texas. I bet it made him, irritable, and his hormones were all unbalanced. And his dopamine was all out of whack, So I'm not betting on anybody who I know is using anymore. And I think that he has Anthony Hernandez, a bit of a bad attitude. I also don't like guys with a bad attitude. Guys who don't seem to have a lot to say, even though they're really excited about fighting for the title, being a main event. They don't seem grateful. They don't seem like they're trying to promote the fight. They don't seem like they're trying to. So I don't love it. So I'm glad we got Anthony Hernandez out of there, because he wasn't ready for the bright lights. He wasn't ready to be a hero, to tell his story, to be called a champion. He wasn't ready for that. Strickland, again, hats off to him. I knew John Anik was going to call him the imitable Sean Strickland or whatever. I knew he was immutable. Like, I knew he was going to use imitable. Like, he used one of these $10 words and the imitable. I'm like, he's going to say, I knew what word he was going to say. John Manick, crazy as all get out. That's all neither here nor there. Sean Strickland grabbed the mic several times during this whole thing, made the fight entertaining, talked a lot of shit, talked a lot of crazy shit, to the point where they cut his mic at the press conference. This is the biggest story besides the 6'3" Kiwi. This is the biggest story to come out of the weekend is, somebody making a decision to just say he's done, get him out. And you know what? Dana getting all pissy at his part of the press conference, being like, well, this is what you guys get for, you poke the bear, you ask him these questions. First of all, Dana, nobody needs to ask him any questions for him to come out and say some wild shit. He walks in saying some wild shit before a question's even asked. Nobody asked him about Bad Bunny in the Super Bowl. He went on his own tirade and tangent about
that poor female reporter who is just doing her job, trying to get a good click on her page, and Dana White comes out here and she's sitting there about to ask Dana White a question, and he's like basically talking one-on-one to her, like, you ask him those dumb questions, you dumb broad. Yeah. Don't come in here asking him those questions. What do you expect him to say? Like,
well, he said it to Oscar, but he was like, for the record, I wasn't even at media day. He's like, I don't know why he's staring me down. But it's like, Dana, you are the one who says, I don't put a leash on these guys. You are the one who says, I don't tell anybody what to say. You have freedom of speech. This is the fight business, not the nice business. You're the one who says all that. If that's your position, it's not about making that your position when everything's going well.
Yeah.
It's not about making that your position when everybody says is what is okay to say. The position only is actually validated if you take the position when it's something you don't want to hear, when it's something you don't really prefer him to say. That's when you become a tolerant person. That's when you become a free speech absolutist, if you want to claim that. But
Dana's never been that way. He used to say all the time, take your win and go home. Nobody wants to hear you thank Jesus. Nobody wants to hear you thank God. Nobody wants to hear any of this shit. You're a cage fighter. Take your win, go home. That's enough.
Yeah, so, I mean, and you got Josh Hawkins. He ends his interview inside the cage calling what's her name a man, and then Joe Rogan is like high-fiving him after he's like, great interview, like you knocked it out of the park. Like, so I think these guys are getting a bit of a mixed message in today's viral landscape. I think a lot of people are getting mixed messages as to like what is good. You know, I mean, we've kind of inverted the morality of an entire country, if not an entire world. We've inverted morality. You know, death is life, and life is death. You know what I mean? Everything is opposite. It's Luciferian oppositism. It's this word is actually the opposite of what it means. This concept is actually the opposite. So it's like, yeah, be a piece of shit, be a live streaming in real life streamer, walk around, mog people, Chester Max, and you will get rewarded. Be nice and humble and normal, you will be forgotten. So these guys are in the entertainment industry, and the people who get the most money and attention are the people who are saying and doing the most wild things. He was your main event. You made him the main event. Like, he's not a champion. You made him the main event. Why did you do that? Now, I really have to actually wonder if that is their modus operandi when it comes to main event scheduling, because these main events we have coming up are ass. These main events we have coming up are mid. I looked at it, I said, mid fights, as far as the eye can see. So first you have the fight this weekend. Short notice replacement for Moreno and Brandon Kavanagh, but it wasn't much better with the original opponent, Asu Amabayev. Who cares? Moreno. I mean, who cares about Brandon Moreno? Not me. Then you got Emmett versus Vallejos. Who the fuck is Vallejos? I know who Vallejos is. I like Vallejos. But who cares about that fight? This isn't 2016. Emmett versus Vallejos could headline 2016 UFC card. Then you got Evaloev versus Murphy. All right, whatever. Like, that's a great co-main event on a pay-per-view card. That's a great featured fight on a pay-per-view card. Not a headlining fight. Adesanya versus Pfeiffer. Again, if it was for the title and as he was the champ, great fight. But this shouldn't be a main event. Moicano versus Duncan. Great fight. Entertaining fight. Entertaining fighters. But who gives a fuck about this fight? Josh Van versus Tetsuya Taira. Fine, we get it. You guys want to move into the Japanese market. We get it. I mean, fucking, what's his name? Pantoja, the most dominant champ you've ever had. The sweat wasn't wiped from his brow before he was just carted off into Nowheresville, and they brought Taira in to just instantly make that the plan. I mean, that's UFC geo marketing at its finest. Gilbert Burns versus Mike Malott. Gilbert Burns, please fucking go away, man. Please fucking retire. Like, this fight means nothing. If Burns wins, it means nothing. If Mallet wins, it really means nothing. Brady versus Buckley, the one good fight, I'll say. That's April 25th.
Who did Sean Brady piss off? Is my main question. He gets nothing but hammers every time, and maybe it's just where he's at in the rankings or whatever it may be, but nonetheless.
Sorry, if Colby Covington can take down Buckley, Sean Brady can take down Buckley. And I know Colby was all fucked up in that fight, but he still got Buckley down. So, and if Usman can take down Buckley, Sean Brady can take down Buckley. So
I hope so.
Anyway, those are the fights that are coming up, but we got a UFC Mexico card to break down this week, so let's do it.
Can I say my opinion on what the card was this week?
Oh yeah, for sure. I thought you didn't get to watch a lot of it, so I was just trying to kind of.
From what I can watch, I only have a few points to bring up mainly. Yeah. First one being that I started watching right around the Grajule mark, the Carlos Leal. That was a good fight when I tuned into it. I think I was like halfway through round 2 when I was able to finally sit down and watch. The rest of that fight was really good. Chidi and Carlos were just throwing at each other. It was great, solid contact fight. I saw Carlos Leal won that fight, in my opinion. I saw the win. The Michelle Pereira and Zach Reese fight pissed me off to no end. That shit made me so irrefutably mad it wasn't even funny. You're telling me that I could maybe in some conceivable future giving Michelle Pereira round 1. Perchance, perhaps, maybe. Not giving Reese round 2 or 3 and to have Michelle win is the most outlandish shit that I've ever seen. That's unbelievable. I thought Zach Reese went 3-0 on him. Again, I could see an argument for 2-1. I thought Zach Reese killed him. All right, killed might be strong. I thought he dominated him. I thought it was as day that Zach Reese won that fight.
So we went 3 out of 4 on our Trophy certified picks. Miquel Zal Costa, Alibi Idris, and Carly Judice were the 3 we got correct. Antti DeLeo was the 1 we got wrong. I was very confident in 2 things going into the card. Antti DeLeo by knockout. Yair Del Val. Dude, based on the scale, and hearing what I hear about the Cuban problem, okay, he's a black belt. Yeah, the fight with Bulgarian might have been fixed, but hey, doesn't matter. They matched him up against Bulgarian, all right? So I'm like, he's coming off the Contender Series. Jordan Levitt's kind of a mid weirdo. And I was like, Del Val, when I looked at him on the scales, I'm like, dude, Del Val is going to just go out there and Ilya Taporia, this guy in the first round. He's going to just use his boxing. He's not going to be afraid of him on the ground. He's not going to get taken down, and he's not going to be afraid of his punches. He's going to close the distance and put hands on chin and knock him out. So I was wrong on both of those. Big time. And yeah, so it is
the outcome I was wrong on. I thought Sean Strickland wins in a boring decision per his usual type of win. And, my fiance, she is a soothsayer because every time after a fight happens, she says, I could have told you it was going to end like that. Yeah. I said, look at Sean Strickland's face. He's surprised he knocked him out. He didn't think he was going to knock him out. Sean Strickland gets up and goes, like he's fucking Stipe Miocic knocking out homeboy Mauricio Verdum over here. And I got my fiance saying, I could have told you. I was like, you just said Huffy was going to win that or Fluffy was going to win that whole time. What are you talking about? You don't know. You're asking your elbow.
I'm the same way with Luke over here, or I guess 6'3" Kiwi now. He said that he was wrong about Sean. I was wrong about Sean. I can happily eat my own words about that. I thought Sean was not prepared. I thought, like I said, he was just like an Instagram person now. He was just like, hey, I'm a UFC fighter, but also I'm shooting shit off my dirt bike in the middle of the desert, and I'm with Nina from UFC. Look at this shit. Like, I just thought he was that kind of guy now. But I was pleasantly surprised. It was a good knockout. I enjoyed watching it. And Uros is the GOAT. That guy, yeah, that was clean. That was probably the best fight of the night, and it only lasted.
And I wish I took him just by knockout in the first round because I took him by finish because I was like, well, he might clip him and then jump on that back and just strangle him. All right, UFC Mexico City.
There's some news we got to cover. I believe we have to cover some news here. I mean, you're the one burying the lead here, 6-foot Kiwi. You were there.
So, my thing is this. Allegedly and without any evidence, It all seems pretty cut and dried. But what gets me is like, actually, I probably can't even really say that. I don't know.
What can't you say?
The username 6'3" Kiwi. You know, I told my wife, I said, look.
That was the guy he was talking to. He was chill guy.
I know. But I'm saying, you know, if I was with a 6'3" Kiwi, I just feel like I would just be too scared. I would just be like, I gotta go. You're too big. You're too tall. Like,
yeah, it's all fun and games when they're using Kai Kara France as a fleshlight at the gym. Him and
easy.
Izzy Adesanya taking turns with the thing.
Okay, don't stop saying that. Look,
Kai Kara France is a thing. He looks like a puppet. What do you want me to tell you?
The real thing for me is like this. Like, you can take if all is to be believed, right? This girl is saying like, hey, we were together for years. He loves to like come into strip clubs and tell and like fund, you know, get you out of there, save you, and like fund your lifestyle. And I was all for it. I loved it. I was just, you know, like, he's buying me bags, he's buying me this, he's buying me that. The amount of treachery for, like, think about this, right? You if you are in this situation, you're like, all right, my wife's cool with it, she's cool with it, I'm rich, everything's fine, and you're treating this woman like you're not. Apparently, he wasn't lying to his wife. The girl said his wife knew all about it. It was cool. It was, you know, a little open kind of thing. So he's not lying.
An entanglement.
He's giving money and gifts and funding lifestyles, and she still does him like this. She still is like blackmail like that. And it's like, by the way, it's like, did you at least go to Dan first and be like, hey, 100K and this goes away? You know what I mean? Something, anything, right? I mean, I would just be sitting there more betrayed that, like, it's like, dude, you really can't trust anybody. Like,
I mean, I'm more upset that, you know, this hit the MMA guru's phone before anybody else, and he has the audacity to come at John Jones with no evidence whatsoever.
Really was gatekeeping that info.
Huh?
He was gatekeeping that info.
Yeah, he has this info on Dan Hooker, and he sits here and he's like, oh, I've seen a couple zesty videos of John Jones. I'm going to tarnish his whole, image right here and now, off of nothing, off of a hunch. But
I think when I come back as a heavyweight, I'll try to do more legally controversial shit.
But then sits here and holds back information about Dan Hooker for why.
Dustin Jacoby.
Him and Oscar Willits are weirdos. I was warned before the show not to say too much about Oscar Willits, but I'm sure after they have their pub talks, they go back to the room, they have their fun, and Oscar Willits is a weird guy, and that's as much as I'm allowed to say. Per Luke's instructions, I am not allowed to tell you my true feelings on Oscar Willits. If you want them, you'll have to come to me personally, I suppose.
Yeah. So anyway, it's all uncomfy. It makes me uncomfy, but I decided if I had a boyfriend, his name would be Ashton. Fun to say. Like, fun to get. It'd be so fun to get.
Criteria. That has to be a fun name to say.
It would be so fun to get annoyed at my boyfriend Ashton. Watch this. I've been practicing. Ashton. Right? And I even have his name's actually like, I can use a little bit of like his last name or his middle name. I'd be like, Ashton Gentry. Right? So it's more about the name for me and more about them being under 6'3", if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I suppose if you want a boyfriend, it is like Louis C.K. said, it's good to be able to like look up at him and like borrow his jacket and like, you know, so maybe I would like a 6'3" Kiwi. I don't know if I'm gonna, it's all just a thought experiment, but I don't know. Happily married.
So is Dan.
In another life.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
Happily married isn't a good enough excuse anymore, especially with the recent news, you know?
Me folded! Bangkok ready.
Okay, so UFC Mexico City. This fight card, despite being in Mexico City, it's still going to start 5 p.m. Been liking the 5 p.m. starts. Been liking the 5 p.m.
in Mexico now.
Ooh, geopolitical news update, everybody. Things are happening in Mexico.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Fight get moved, fight stay. Who knows?
I love
Certainly
how
not
Mexico is in such disarray that they're like, oh, a crime leader has died. It's really thrown the whole country off. Like, crime leader dies in America, another one just steps up in his place the next day. It's like, yeah, no worries.
Well, Luke, you see, when things like this happen, I don't know if you remember from Saddam Hussein, Bin Laden, Gaddafi, it creates a power vacuum. And there's a lot of power-hungry people who are under these carteles.
Well, I saw the videos of the cartels digging up the highway and lighting buses on fire. It seems like they're pretty organized still, you know?
because they have half the government in their payroll. They can just literally pay a police officer, hey, go shut this down real quick. Okay.
Guys, I don't know if you know, but there's multiple cartels, right? It's like Bloods and Crips, okay? So maybe the Crips over here see the Blood guy die, and they're like, time to move into their territory right now and start wreaking havoc. So
it's all too much. It's all too much. Get it together, people. I want to be a real country again. I want to be a real world again. Okay, let's just be a real world again. The real world. This is what happens when people stop being nice and start being real.
You talk about the real world too long, you're gonna start talking about escaping the Matrix. Okay, let's not talk about any Tate files.
No manosphere stuff. Ever since Clav got mugged by the ASU frat leader, I'm out of the manosphere. All right, that was crazy. You guys see him get mugged. And then, I mean, did you guys also see that there's another frat leader too?
Really?
Dude, the frat leaders are rising up. They're sick of these IRL streamers. There's real boots on the ground moggers out there that are gonna just rise up. Adam, you should frame Mog Clav, dude. Can we get you in front? If you guys haven't seen Adam without a shirt on, he could frame Mog Clav.
I might be able to. I might.
He dresses humbly, but we just need to start doing some bone smashing. We need to get the Duradrill on your face.
I got a great jawline.
Just start chewing like 6 packs of gum, and then we'll just have chiseled.
You know what they say is really good for getting a chiseled jaw is finding yourself a nice 6'3" Kiwi. Spend a few holidays with them, if you know what I'm saying.
And that's one thing that I can't believe the Dan Hooker is the way that they're saying he is.
When you look into it,
his jawline's trash. He has a chicken neck. He has a chicken jaw. Like Dan Hooker doesn't have
great cheekbones though.
Okay.
It's all very sad. All right. So anyway, UFC Mexico City. I love this card. Let's go. We got a lot of good fights to break down, especially at the beginning. One of my favorite fights of the night. First fight on the prelims, as it's listed right now. 185-pound matchup between 8-2 Wes Schultz, 8-1 Damian Pinas. Wes Schultz. I know a lot about Wes Schultz. I watched his Ultimate Fighter, his Dana White Contender Series season. He got knocked out by Mansour Abdul Malik in a blood and guts war a year and 6 months ago. Got a win outside the UFC, came back on the Contender Series, submitted with a Sulaev stretch Mario Mingai to give him his first loss at 7-0. Wes Schultz is a national treasure. If you guys don't know, Wes Schultz has a speech impediment. It is adorable. And Wes Schultz is a national treasure. Protect this man at all cost. I want to give him a big old hug and a smooch. He's my favorite fighter. And I love Wes Schultz. And when I saw his whole little B-roll on the Contender Series about the adversity and everything, and then he has the speech impediment, it's all great, and I love it all. And that's why I'm picking Wes Schultz as an underdog to knock this bitch out. Wes Schultz is going to be there. This guy fights like a hockey player. He does not care about getting hit. He swings his ass off, swings himself out of his shoes. And, this guy's from Suriname. I'm sure he's a good striker, but I just think that Wes is cut from a different cloth in terms of, having already had some ups and downs, right? Having already had some ups and downs in a short career versus a guy who his only loss is from an illegal kick he delivered in round 1 of a Chuto Brazil card against Italio Gomez. So this guy really has never lost. And I think that this will be the first time if Wes Schultz can get past round 1, he's definitely going to win this fight. And I think he wins it by finish, either making him tired and just unloading on him with some of those big punches, or making him tired and choking him out on the ground, doing some sort of submission hold. Wes Schultz, underdog, dog number
You're
one.
right. He is the cutest thing in the world. I was just watching him talk about.
It melts your heart.
They asked him, "What does happiness look like for you, Wes?" And he says, "I don't know. Maybe get married, have some kids. I'm not going to do the speech impediment. That's just that's over the line. That's below brow, in my opinion." He says, maybe get married, have 4 or 5 kids, just in case, if a couple of them are losers, at least we'd have one successful one. He's like, get a bunch of land so I can shoot deers from it. Just a, and with the speech, I know, guys, this doesn't sound as cute, but when you watch it and hear him say it, it is adorable. And I don't know why I feel worse about making fun of his speech impediment, but we'll make fun of Chris's blades. I don't know why. For me, it just makes more sense. That makes more sense. Curtis, I'm sorry. I love Chris Curtis. No, I don't love Chris Curtis. I love Curtis Blades. Sorry. Hate Chris Curtis. But this guy is adorable. I really hope he can do well, but
I hope he becomes the fucking next world champion. I want him to beat Hamza Chimaev. I love him, and yeah, you protect this man at all costs.
Demeanor too, like he seems shy. He seems like he's a shy guy as well, which is always cute. Yeah, I mean, I'll be rooting for him for sure. But this Damian guy, Luke, he's got some panache to him.
But that's where I'm telling you, in the Mansour Abdul Malik fight, again, another hard-hitting striker, and he, weathered the storm. Like, I know he lost by knockout, but, I'm telling you, if you go back and watch that fight, there's something there.
So he didn't weather the storm.
There's something there where you're like, this wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, before, you hear this poor guy, he's got his speech impediment, and then you see carved out of stone Mansour Abdul Malik undefeated, and you're like, they're serving this guy up to get fucking destroyed by Mansour Abdul Malik. And that's what happened. But he put up more of a fight than people were fucking expecting. I'll tell you that much.
Well, this Damian, he's got some panache to him, okay? I know you called him P-Nass, but that's not.
I don't argue that he is the flashier striker, the more dangerous, deadly, powerful, scarier striker. I'm just thinking Wes Schultz is going to fight smarter, let him miss, get him tired, and win in the later rounds.
Now, Luke, if he wasn't from Aruba and he was from
Suriname, he's from Suriname.
Oh, he's from Suriname. So this
same place as Jairzinho Rosenstrike.
Okay.
Surinamese fighter.
But it says Aruba on his Tapology page. Is he fighting out of Aruba now? He's fighting out of Aruba.
Oh, okay. Well, the flag,
which doesn't seem like a place to get better at fighting. That seems like
he was born in Suriname.
Okay.
That's crazy. He's fighting out of Aruba. I'm going to Aruba in 2 months.
Okay.
Maybe I can link with him. If he hurts my precious baby Wes Schultz, I'm gonna have to find him in Aruba. I'm gonna have to go find him and give him a little talking to. Yeah. I'll go full mom on him. I'll be like, "You hurt my son Wes Schultz."
I love your hat. Is that new?
Oh, dude, brand new, straight off the plane from Italy. My brother-in-law got this for me. It is
he's back.
He's back, and I got this hat today, and it's officially licensed Milano Cortina.
Did you take a bite of the metal?
Look at the bottom. Look, it's so sick on the inside.
Very nice. Did you take a bite of the metal?
No, she's not back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Those girls, you know what's funny? Trump called the men's Olympic hockey team. They were like, we'll get you guys to the State of the Union on Air Force. We'll fly a military plane over and pick you up. The girls, they're like, that'd be great and all. We have a PWHL game. We have to go play in 3 days. So all the same girls are like, all right, now we got to go get back on teams with each other and keep playing hockey.
Well, I mean, all the NHLers are doing that as well.
Yeah, but I think they have more of a break.
They get more.
It depends on the team.
And guys, the women's Olympic hockey team had a more impressive fucking run than the men by a mile. First of all,
one goal on them the entire tournament.
One goal scored on the whole time. The most shutouts in Olympic history. The only time Canada has ever been shut out in Olympic history. They beat them 5-0 the first time they played. Second time, as if it wasn't impressive enough to be completely dominant across every team you play. In the last game for the gold medal, they go down 1-0 to Canada, the team they just beat 5-0, have to tie it with 2 minutes left and then score in overtime to win. It was like one of the most epic sports wins I've ever seen.
And a gross goal as well. That goal was gross. Type of goal that you look at the TV and go, bleh.
That's like when you are in practice and you're like, whether it's wrestling or basketball or hockey, you're like, you're making the stakes in certain moments, like the highest they could be. Like you're in a wrestling match and your coach, and you're like on bottom and you're like, all right, if this was state championships and I was down by 1 point, could I escape right here and take him down and get the win? And you like make that the conditions. Like, all right, I'm gonna pretend that's what this is.
Everybody's been shooting hoops in their driveway. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody.
So it's like for her, it's like in her mind, if she were to like manifest, like, all right, I'm in the Olympics. It's the gold medal game, overtime. I get past the puck. One-on-one situation. I get tripped. I dive. I shoot between the 5-hole. Goal. Like that would be the moment. Like it doesn't get any like crazier than that.
No.
So yeah, Olympics have been fun. One thing I'll critique on the Olympics, they did a commercial where it was like, oh, the kid was like getting really into the Olympics, and they're like, oh, it's a shame it's only every 4 years. And I was like, well, hey, here's a great opportunity to like advertise if your kid is into one of these fucking sports, bobsledding, ski shooting, like they do national and like world team competitions all between the Olympics. Like they should do more to showcase like, oh, did you like watching the women's Olympic ice hockey team? All these players are playing in the PWHL right now. The season's going on. Pick a team. Like they should have like parlayed it more,
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, we got Mexico City to break down. I picked Wes Schultz. Alex, you're picking Pinas. You said he has panache. He is 23. 6 years younger than 29-year-old Wes Schultz.
I hope Wes Schultz wins, but like, if you know nothing about these guys except for Wes Schultz has a cute lisp and he's or not a lisp, a speech impediment, and you look at these two guys, knowing that information, you kind of got to go with Pinas. Adam, what do you think?
Knowing very little about them, like I remember seeing Wes on Dana White's Contender Series. I think I did watch that one. And knowing not a whole lot about Mr. Pinas over here, I would love to see a Wes Schultz victory. I think he has better ground game. I think he has, better striking overall. But I just think Pinas has a lot more overwhelming factor. I think he can get him against the cage and just like wham, wham, like a Sean Strickland versus Israel Adesanya type pressure. Like I want to see Wes Schultz win. I just don't know if he has it in him. Like I keep going back and forth because I think Wes is better ground game. I think he has better striking, but I think Pinas is just more dominant. He's a little more overwhelming, Aruba, insane place to train. Dude's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. All there is to do out there is drink and fight. So maybe he's got something going for him there. Maybe there's a little.
He was once on the Wyoming wrestling team too, Adam. University of Wyoming,
and that makes sense why his ground game is so good. He's a strong wrestler, fighter, jiu-jitsu. You know what? Screw it. I'm taking Wes. I think I'm doing it. I think I'm going to take Wes on this.
All right. Those two are going with Wes Schultz. I'm going with Mr. Pinas.
Which it's not a bad take. This fight is going to be great. To be honest, it's going to be a great fight. Just keep an eye out for it. I think it's good.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll certainly keep an eye out on it. I'll keep both of my eyes on the screen the entire time, unless something comes up. Actually, I probably won't. I'll be in Vermont this weekend snowboarding, so I probably won't keep a single eye on the screen for this fight. But next up, we got another good fight. I don't know too much about this Eric Silva, but I know a lot about Frankie the Fire Marshall. I love Frankie Marshall. The guys that he lost to, William Gomis, who I think super highly of, a split decision loss that many people thought he won. Isaac Dolgarian before all the gambling controversy with him. The only fights Isaac Dolgarian really lost, he did on purpose, apparently. He beat up on Dylan Budka. Bazooka. No, Dylan Budka is a different guy.
Dennis
Bazookia. And then lost to Marion Santos, which I thought he won that fight. Another split decision loss for the boy Frankie the Fire Marshall. I'm going with Frankie Marshall here. I think he cruises to victory in this one. He's minus 530 favorite, so I'm not going to necessarily take too much time on that one. Boys, what do you think? Adam first?
I got a close connection to Frankie
Adam
Marshall.
first, I said.
So don't know much about either of these fighters. Do see Eric Silva's from Venezuela. Do also see that he's a plus 390. It's a little rich.
Another place with some turmoil.
That is true. Maybe he's feeling some of that pressure from the turmoil. Maybe he's like, damn, I don't have my head in this fight right now because my homeboy just got picked up by some Delta operators,
Because the head of state is gone.
he probably heard Chief Keef from the Black Hawk and was like,
Wait, I got hit with that discombobulator.
Oh, true. Do you hear about this, Adam? The discombobulator? And
I've not.
If it's top secret.
Oh yeah, you'll learn about that. You'll be briefed. Don't worry.
I'm sure. Now for Fire Marshal here, if you know ball, Fire Marshal Bill Burns. We'll see who knows ball. Do you guys know ball? You know who Fire Marshal Bill Burns is?
No.
You gotta do me a favor. You gotta look him up on YouTube after this is done. Hilarious.
Hockey player, right?
Huh?
Hockey player?
No. Oh. Jim Carrey. So.
Oh, Fire Marshal Bill. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think it's a no-brainer to take Fire Marshal here. Minus 530 from New Jersey. Didn't even know that. Very young, 26 years old versus a 38-year-old Eric Silva. He's got age on him. He's coming off a loss. So is Eric Silva. Both 5'9", short kings. I just think Fire Marshal has this fight. I don't think there's much to it. I think age is a big factor. I think he's got it.
So Frankie Marshall from New Jersey, trained at Kurt Pellegrino MMA. I have a family member actually who's a black belt at Kurt Pellegrino, and he told me that Frankie has since actually moved down to American Top Team. So Frankie is getting he's in the exact right place for his skill set, for his pedigree, for his age. And I think he smokes Silva. Don't agree with the line. I think it's a bit of a crazy line, but I do wish I could catch the knife on Frankie because yes, it says he lost his last fight. If you were watching that fight, 100% he won. Even DC and Rogan thought he won. Like Anik thought he won. Everybody thought he won. He won. You know what I mean? Marion Santos is the only person who seemingly didn't think he won. And two judges. But Frankie Marshall all day for me.
Judges are stupid. We confirm that from the Zachary.
It's really fucking crazy. Like
it's bad how worse they're getting. It's actually unreal.
It's almost like they want to spit in your face and you watch we all watch a round. We go, all right, close round. I think that guy's the winner though, based on this criteria. And the judges are like, you would think that, but if you were sophisticated, you would know that that's actually not. It's like no.
For example, it's like, that round was good. Probably Zachary's 10-9. And the judges are like, dude, we watched the same fight. It's 10-8 for Michelle. Watching the same shit.
And where I get the most mad is how pussy they are with 10-8 rounds. Like, you can't have a round where it's 10-9. Okay, this is a 10-9 round. Then, and not much happens. And then in the next round, the guy mounts him for 3 minutes and punches them the whole time. And you go 10-9. It's like,
yep.
How was that a 10-9 and that was a 10-9? There has to be some difference. There should be more 10-8s and the frequency of 10-8s should be taken by the frequency of 10-7s. You should see way more 10-8s. A lot more draws should be had. And then there should be the occasional 10-7 where it's like there's cases where guys don't land a single fucking punch the whole round and they go 10-9. It's like he didn't land one punch. How much less could somebody do?
They could stand like this all fight and just would be like, damn, that was close as hell, 10-9. Like, holy shit. Throw a casual like me in there to judge, and I think it would go insanely different. I think I might have a better eye for that kind of shit. I know they're definitely have to be trained and stuff like that, and I'm talking shit on judges because fights don't go my way. But genuinely, I feel like 95% of the UFC fan base could do a significantly better job judging fights than the Nevada Athletic Commission, whatever bullshit we get.
And it doesn't necessarily need to be anything except an internal algorithm. Like, if you've watched enough fights and you understand the rules and the judging criteria, you go, okay, if, for example, in a kickboxing fight, somebody gets dropped, most kickboxing promotions and rule sets, it's an automatic 10-8 round if you drop somebody in the round, right? Because why? Damage. So in a fight, if a guy takes a shitload of damage in a round and there's blood, he was cut, it's a significant amount of damage. That trumps pretty much everything, right? It trumps pretty much everything. If you, in the first minute, drop somebody, get on top, boom, elbow, bust them open, ref's about to stop it, then they sweep you. And now they're on top and they have their head buried in your chest inside your guard for the whole rest of the round. Why not? Like, kind of 10-8. Unless they made it up with some damage from the top. If they closed the gap, right? But it's like, just use that. It's a moving scale the whole time. It's like, oh, this guy's is like, the scale starts here. And with everything that's happened, and it's going back and forth. A big thing happens, it goes way over here. Now in your mind, just calibrate where you are and go, is he doing enough to inch him back into 10-8 or 10-9 round territory? Or does he do enough to even flip it and win the round, right? Like, I'm not saying that can't happen. I'm just saying, like, it's a scale, and the scale is moved as the fight goes on and is moving as the fight goes on. But it can't be this guy takes him down and moves the scale all the way over here with grappling for 3.5 minutes. Now they're on the feet, and this guy does this much scale movement of striking, but because he did some striking, the other guy did very little striking, now he won the round? No. It should be he lost the round because most of the round he was in a non-dominant position, and what he did with the time that he had left, which was less of a percentage than 50 of the round, what he did with that wasn't enough damage. Yeah, he landed strikes. He didn't do enough damage to make up for it. Yeah, he maybe got some momentum back. Yeah, he maybe made it not a 10-8 round, but he didn't win the round because the striking was relatively equal. The thing that stood out in the otherwise equal striking was the control. Yep, I get heated about this because it's not hard. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes it can be hard. Hey, it can be hard sometimes, and you might have to make a perspective-based decision on how you know. But really, it's not that hard because you have situations like Volkov beating Jailton Almeida's ass from the bottom. You have situations like Kevin Holland beating the fuck out of Gunnar Nelson from the bottom, and they do the right thing. They go, yeah, because his control mattered not against the first piece of criteria, which is damage. It's mixed martial arts. So it doesn't matter that he had the dominant position because it's only a dominant position if you're dominating in the position.
Fair. I think that's all fair. I think that's a very fair.
All right. Ernesta Karakate versus Sofia Montenegro. Lady fight. I'm going with the Lithuanian. Karakate is very good. She beat Carly Judice by split decision on the Contender Series. They both got a title. They both got a UFC opportunity contract for that fight because it was so good. But Karakate is really good. Her mom trained her. She's grown up her whole life doing this shit. She's not some Johnny come lately. And this girl lost in the Contender Series and is getting an opportunity as well. Split decision loss. So don't really remember her fight against Giesla Chavez, but I'm not going with the underdog Sofia Montenegro here today. I'll be going with Ernesta Karakate. And she might even get a finish.
I like
we don't
that.
need to waste some time on this one. If you guys aren't experts, just kind of go with what you think.
I'm going with carrot cake.
I'm taking carrot cake as well.
Beautiful. Okay, next we got Douglas Silva de Andrade, the ageless wonder, coming in at 40 years old, but does not look it in his fights. He just fought Miles John. Miles John's didn't just fight. He fought him a year and 8 months ago. Lost to Miles Johns. Before that, he beat Cody Stamen 2 years, 9 months ago. I'm expecting a pretty significant drop-off from the Douglas Silva de Andrade, the guy that we saw 2 years ago. I'm expecting a significant drop-off now that he's 8 months into his 40th birthday. And I think that the 32-year-old will go out there and fight well, fight smart, and get the win. But it's hard to really tell, right? Because you got a Colombian guy who seems to be a striker. And you wonder, where's the takedown defense? He's not training with Dominic Cruz. He's not training with Henry Cejudo. He's not training with Sean O'Malley. Where are you training? What's the Blair team? Because all I'm seeing are a bunch of Colombian, so this one is in Colombia. Okay, that makes sense. UKF gym, the primary gym in Arizona. Okay, this is where no one that you've ever heard of trains. This is where no one you ever heard of trains. So I don't know that he's going to actually be able to beat Douglas De Silva de Andrade, a 35-fight vet. This guy's got 27 fights, but I think a lot of them, let's see, we're in Colombia. I'm going with, the younger guy. I always do, but nothing's jumping off the page to me that says De Silva de Andrade couldn't win this. I mean, he's 8 years older and he's only a plus 190 underdog. That right there should tell you something, right? If De Silva de Andrade can do his normal kind of cardio, RDA light, kind of punch in volume and get you against the cage and get in for a takedown and not quite get it, but sometimes get it, but mostly just cage control you and frustrate you and throw a lot of volume out, he could easily win this fight. So it might be Silva de Andrade by decision, but I don't really bet on guys that are 40 in weight classes lower than 170, so I'm going with Reyes, but pretty much a no bet at minus 240.
Adam?
I think this fight's honestly a throw up. I mean, Luke made some great points where, you have an older guy, but he's only plus 190. It's not like you have a minus 560 like Fire Marshal Bill Burns was. You have a guy here who's experienced, who has been through a lot of fights, and you can't forget he's Brazilian. He's about that life. He's about that jiu-jitsu. He's about that wrestling. He can throw some elbows on the ground. Them 12 to 6s. That's legal now. He can do that, and he's able to do that. Problem is, he's shorter. He's lighter. He's older. Can Javier Reyes have a better gas tank? Can he strike better? And can he defend takedowns? Can he do takedowns himself? Because, like Luke said, he's going to be in a gym that looks like it doesn't prioritize that kind of defense. Hard fight. My ass is going to stay out of this on DraftKings. I don't think I will bet on this one. But if I did, give me the underdog. Give me the Brazilian. I think I like it. Give me Douglas.
Yep, I'm going with De Silva de Andrade as well. I've just watched a lot more tape on him. Don't really have any idea about this Javier Reyes. What I do know is that majority of his wins come by knockout or submission. He has 18 wins by finish, 4 by decision. So you sit here, you say, how can this guy win? Is he going to knock out De Silva de Andrade? Maybe. Easily could. But he certainly ain't submitting him. Unless it's a club and sub situation. So I'm going with Silva de Andrade. Just feel like he's going to have more ways to win, catch this young whippersnapper by surprise. And something I realized last week when we were watching the fights is, at the lower ranks, that experience doesn't matter as much, but we've been seeing it a lot when it comes to these fighters that are ranked closer to the top. When they're fighting against a young guy who's like surging and beating a lot of lower caliber opponents, they get fraud checked quite a bit at those higher ranks. And sure, De Silva de Andrade is not necessarily like a high ranked guy over here, but UFC debutants lose at a 66% clip or something of that nature. And they're putting him in there against a guy who has a wealth of experience in the UFC. So give me De Silva de Andrade for this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a smart, sharp pick. I think it's going to age well. And to be honest, this guy Reyes is giving me Luis Garul. He's giving me Yair Del Val. He's giving me fighters who get matched up, against guys who just got that little bit more experience. Guys who are 8 years younger, they win at like a 67, 69% rate, but guys who are making their debut lose at a 66% rate. And this is in Mexico City. A lot of factors coming into play here. So for me, it's pretty much a dog or pass. I won't be including Reyes in parlays out here like, oh yeah, it's a lock. Like I don't think it's a generous offering on Reyes by any means at the line. Next, we got Christian Quinones versus Chris Montino, and you were talking about how who did Sean Brady piss off with the matchmaking? Who did Chris fucking Montino piss off with the matchmaking?
He's just another one of these Boston dumbasses, part of Dana White's charity project to lose every brain cell in Boston after the guy from Black Mass had his goons beat the shit out of him in a train. I really do think that has to have something to do with it. Made him flee to Las Vegas for his safety. So, Dana White, he's sending these Massachusetts dumbasses in there.
Adam looks like he's in a Boston Mafia right now with the hat.
He does. The green flag, the shamrock on the wall, he's got it all. He's gonna give you some apples and ask you how you like them.
Great movie.
Yes, sir. But I think Christian Quinones sucks. I don't see. I mean, both of these guys are absolutely terrible. I don't know if either of them have ever won a fight in the UFC. The only one who has one is Christian Quinones beating Khalid Taha, who didn't win a single fight in the UFC either. Actually, he did win a single fight in the UFC. I stand corrected. But nonetheless, two bottom of the barrel guys. They should be opening up the card. They both stink. Give me Quinones, or not Quinones. Give me Montino. I'm going to go in a dog or pass situation here. Just because they both suck so bad. Montino might surprise us.
Yeah, so, Christian Quinones hasn't had a win in 3.5 years. He hasn't had a fight in 2 years. Lost to Honey Baloney by submission. But we saw what Honey Baloney was able to do against Peyton Talbot. He also lost by submission to Kung Ho Kang. Man name of Kang. Whatever happened to him? Whatever happened to Kung Ho Kang? I need to know why Christian Quinones is coming back off a 2-year layoff after back-to-back finished losses and a win against Khalid Taha, who isn't in the UFC anymore 4 years ago, and then he beat Long Zhao on the Contender Series 4.5 years ago. I need to know what's going on here. Like, did he get in a car accident? Was it was he out because he was getting better and he wanted to be out, or he needed what happened? What was going on? It has to be that it was a decision to get better. There has to be a reason he's a minus 650 favorite on a 2-year layoff. Again, somebody who pretty much almost went 3 rounds with Sean O'Malley. Chris Montino, they offered him that fight. He took that fight. Short notice, steps up. They stopped it with 30 seconds left in the fight. He was still standing up. It was complete bullshit. Herb Dean defends that stoppage. It's you can be wrong, dude. And then, he gets put away by Guido Canetti. Not a good look, but that guy hits like a truck. Goes out of the UFC and gets a little bit of a 5-fight win streak going. And then they bring him back. Fucking Malcolm Wellmaker. You know what I mean? That was always going to happen. So, it's a no bet for me. It's dog or pass for me. You ain't catching me taking Christian Quinones at these odds. And it's dog or pass, no bet. Christian Quinones by knockout, round 1. Moving on.
I'm also not going to be betting this fight. I wasn't going to bet the 40-year-old. But I look at a 2-loss streak, and I look at hasn't fought since 2024, and I say he's due. That man is due for a win, so help me God. And they're going to put him against a person who has the IQ of a brick and the face that can take a brick to it. They're going to put him against him. I think that Christian Quinones is going to take control of the fight early, and I think he's going to win. Now, minus 650, yeah, kind of bound to happen. And Mexican, it's in Mexico.
You have to lick your finger, put it up in the air, and say, where are the vibes blowing as this fight's about to start? And if the roof's about to blow off that fucking place and Quinones is locked in, you might just have to make a game time decision to sink in Quinones round 1.
See,
and people will say, well, Montino, he took that beating against Sean O'Malley. This guy doesn't go down. It's well, he did go down against Guido Canetti, and that was years ago. And here's the thing. If you want to win and gamble, you got to find your edge. And it has to be like, do I think that despite knowing how much of a beating Chris Montigno can take, like the only way you're going to find meat on the bone is going, all right, but is that going to matter but at all? And is Quinones just going to go in there and fucking run through him because he's not afraid of him? So,
see, and I'm a big vibes person. Like I'm the
vibes guy, Adam.
I've been getting really good at like seeing people on their walkouts and knowing if they're going to fight like shit or if they're going to have like the fight of their life. I have been getting decently good at that. Where like recently, Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje. When Paddy was walking out, yeah, vibes were high. He's doing his dancing and shit. I thought he looked a little rough around the edges on that walkout. I thought that he didn't look all there. He looked like, yeah, you want to have fun. You're about to fight. You want to get hyped up for it. But it looked like he wasn't there for it.
He said as much himself. He watched the fight back on his YouTube. I think it was yesterday or today. And he said just as much. He said he wasn't really feeling it. But, you know, that music hits. He starts dancing. He starts getting loose. But he said the same thing, Adam. So maybe you're on to something there.
And I swear on everything, I did not watch that video from Paddy Pimblett. I usually do watch his stuff, but I didn't get to that. I've noticed.
Well, he was eating a bag of fucking Sour Patch Kids before the fight. I don't know if you saw that. I mean,
Paddy the Fatty.
Marshawn Lynch would eat Skittles in between every single play in the NFL. That doesn't.
Okay, but that's way different. Because if Paddy was able to take little breaks and eat some, I'm sure it would be fine. But eating that shit and then going through the sugar crash that will inevitably happen, it's sheer chemistry. Like you're taking in all this sugar. And he even said in that when he was watching his fight back, he goes, I felt like they had us back there a while, that we didn't get out as early as I thought. So it's almost like, yeah. And he's just sitting back there and his sugar dopamine is just crashing down and his
dopamine's crashing. He's getting a nicotine
withdrawal, 100%, dude. 100%.
The Red Hawk said that he was hitting vape the entire time in the locker room,
and he hit it in the video. He did a video of him like eating somewhere after the fight, and he was like, he did it kind of at the camera, like I'm still vaping, bitch.
So I going back on that, I think Christian Quinones wins. I'll be able to, like Luke said, I'll be able to tell once that walkout hits. If I see Quinones like super locked in, looking loose, and then Moutinho comes in and he's like timid, I
don't even need to see you saying this is just making me realize like there's no world where Moutinho beats Quinones, and there's no Moutinho could uncork the hardest punch he can possibly throw and hit Quinones right in the face, and Quinones, if he gets to fire one strike back, will knock him out. Like, bam. So he's going to knock him out in the first round. Let's just go with that. The UFC is literally beating Chris Montigno over the head. They're like, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson?
Oh, man.
Like, they're like, dude, we're just going to, like, they're making him fight a Mexican guy in Mexico City. Chris Montigno's little skinny ass is going to get diarrhea, dude. He's fucked. Fucksville.
Big worry.
Next fight, Macy Chiasson, Aline Perez. For me, it's Aline Perez all day. She is so beautiful. She is so cool. She is so fun. I have a big crush on her. Okay, and then Macy Chiasson.
You love your wife?
And I love my wife. Macy Chiasson. That was a character I was doing, guys. Macy Chiasson was going to come on this show. Bailed. Was irresponsible. Was poor at scheduling. Was unorganized. Then misses weight in her next fight. So I'm seeing a pattern here. And plus 135, you better fucking come back to me with something better if I'm going to take Macy Chiasson against Aline Perez. Minus 165, Aline Perez. Ooh, what a generous gift. Thank you for this generous gift. It's going on every single parlay.
Yeah, I've come on this show many a times, said that Macy Chiasson is the toughest woman, not only in MMA history, not only in UFC history, but to ever live. She had a crane fall on her damn head, and she still came back from it. But even after she reposted me saying that, even after she gave us this, gave us that, she ended up breaking bad on us. She ended up going sour on us. I took it personally. I'm taking it very personally. In fact, I left her on red last time we communicated, just because, I'm not chasing you around, Macy. I don't know how many interviews you're getting asked to do, but Clearly, it's too many to make time for little old me. So Macy Chiasson and I, we're no longer friends. We probably will never be friends again unless I get a handwritten letter apologizing for her wrongdoings.
Bare minimum.
And then, like Luke said, she missed weight, then gets beat up by Yana Santos, 50-year-old Yana Santos. Yeah, that to me, unforgivable. Unforgivable behavior. I'm going with Alan Perez. I hope I see some twerking in there. Soul Sister. Let's make it happen. But that's a spite pick. That's a spite pick. Take that with a grain of salt. Macy Chiasson is a great fighter. You know, although she hasn't really performed in the last two, her peak is a lot higher than what Alan Perez's has been in the past. Take what I'm saying with a grain of salt because I am upset with Macy. I'm not mad at her. I'm disappointed in her.
That being said, I'm hammering Perez. I think Perez has this fight. You know, she's coming in off of a 5-win streak from 2023 up until 2025. You know, like you said, Macy lost to damn near 50-year-old, unanimous decision, got her ass beat. I think that Perez takes this fight and runs away with it. Genuinely.
My favorite Perez thing is when she's twerking and Marab says, "Can I touch it? Can I touch it?" That's a great
I have
video.
seen that video.
I like when they were trying to get on her ass about having an OnlyFans, and she said, "Mi OnlyFans no es pornografía."
It's like Mighty Mouse.
Did you even do your research? Like, there's no pornography on my OnlyFans. You know, people forget, man. OnlyFans was trying to get like athletes and chefs and other people.
That's literally what Mighty Mouse is doing. Mighty Mouse has an OnlyFans for his BJJ and stuff.
Yeah, I think Greg Jones did that for BJJ, right, Alex? I don't know.
I think he had a lot of Dan Hooker stuff hanging out with Dan Hooker on there, but I'm not
in this asshole.
I'm not exactly sure. I didn't subscribe. I see OnlyFans.
Let's just say I have a lot of research to do.
There are some ladies with some pornographic OnlyFans in the UFC. Not
that one Brazilian who has the Naruto tattoos. She does.
Okay, Adam, a little too quick.
Because
I had a deep conversation with Steven Seagal last time I was in Dubai.
Only because that comes up on my thing a lot, and I'm like, "Who is this?"
UFC. Digging deeper.
Little mouth on him. Bing, 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 bing.
You know, the algorithm gives you stuff that you look at a lot, right?
No further comment.
Don't quote the old magic to me, witch. I was there when it was written.
I'm gonna pull a Dan Hooker.
You think I don't know how the algorithm works? I spend a lot of time training my algorithm.
I was talking to Adam. He said, I see it all the time.
Because I have UFC on my algorithm.
That's what it is.
You
get an unranked women's fighter on your page a lot.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about?
I expect you both will have this information on my desk by tomorrow. Itemized lists for my research purposes only, please. I need an itemized list.
Fair enough.
Okay. Next up, we have another fight. It's Jose Medina on a 4-fight losing streak.
Holy shit.
Versus Ryan Gandra. The problema. Ryan Gandra, another minus 550 favorite to grace us with this card making his UFC debut. I think that's 2 UFC debutants at minus 270 or better. Hey, it is what it is. You know, we got Frankie Marshall coming off a loss, minus 550. We got Ryan Gandra making his debut, minus 550. It's the minus 550. Come on down to Crazy Dana's minus 550 price shop. Go on Polymarket. Win 5 cents. Go on Polymarket. Hey, Polymarket. Dude, this Polymarket shit. Do they do deposit match bonuses? Because if they do deposit match bonuses, I might be a Polymarket exclusive guy. You know what I mean? But it's just too confusing. The way it reads is confusing. I'm so used to looking at plus this 100 minus this 100. Like I'm
not percentages.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the way the world's going. All this Polymarket stuff, all this aura maxing, this gesture maxing. Yeah, I don't love it. But
you have no aura, bro.
Wow.
I'm dripping with aura, dude. I've gone full aura.
Yeah, that's why you've went against me in the last 3 main events, and I've lost every single one of them. You have no aura.
That's why I have aura. It's because it's like they're like, damn, I'm like Chris Montino. They're like, this guy just keeps coming back for more patience.
I don't think Chris Montino has aura though.
They're like, it's actually super impressive that he's continuing to step up to the plate and just get his dick handed to him every time.
How do you still have money?
Dude, it's crazy. And also like I'm like, I'm not gonna gamble except for like $100, and if I lose that, then like 200 more, and if I lose that, like 400 more, and then that's it.
And then a full precedent.
Yeah.
Funky Cold Medina versus Ryan Gandra. And like you said, Luke, terrible odds on this one, but it makes sense. Funky Cold Medina, he sucks. He's terrible. He sits there. He looks like 10 pounds of shit in an 8-pound bag. He doesn't have a body for the eyes. He's certainly not walking in there with any panache. He doesn't look like panache. He's going to go in there. He's going to get his ass kicked. I don't even have to know anything about Problema, even though he doesn't really look that jacked. He doesn't really look that good. Hasn't beat anybody I've ever heard of. But you know what? I've seen Medina lose to people who are fucking terrible. You know, Zach Reese being one of them.
Zach Reese isn't terrible. Zach Reese is like Aaron Pico. You know what I mean?
Their shit.
Zach Reese has like he's like Aaron Pico. It's like you look at his body, you look at his like attributes, and you're like, there's something here. He's not as good as Aaron Pico. I won't say that.
But he does have that mindset. You see him, you're like, he should be really good, and he's not.
He takes it seriously. And you know what the biggest problem he has is he keeps his hands too fucking low. He's walking it. He fights like fucking this, dude. Like, it's like, dude, just put your hands a little, or stop moving fucking forward. Like, but if you're going to have your hands here and be this long counter striker, be Izzy. Be Izzy Adesanya. He's never taken a forward step in his fucking life. Like, do that. Anderson Silva has never taken a forward step. You know what I mean? Like, he only takes a forward step to make you think he is, and then he's like, you really thought? Come on.
Yeah, so I'm going with Gandra, just based off. It's more of a Medina fade than a Gandra praise. Give me Gandra. Not gonna bet it. Probably is minus 550. He's a debutant. But if you guys are paying attention, I said the debutant stat for 2 guys already on this card, which means that one of them has to win, and this is going to be the one.
And you know what else I'm going to say? This is in Mexico City, Mexico, which if you know anything about Mexico City, Mexico, you'll know. It's 7,349 feet above elevation, above sea level.
It is
7,349 feet at sea level. Jose Medina is from Bolivia, which is elevated. And he is also like a punching bag. Like, this guy will not give up on himself. He's got a brick head and he will take punches. And he will keep going. But something does tell me that after like the wear and tear of going through the UFC car wash, getting finished in a couple fights, I think that there's going to be a lot of guys with a lot of quit in them in Mexico City, because if it's not going their way, it's not just going to be about like physically painful or you know, like the strikes are actually damaging them to the point where they can't continue. It's going to be just psychologically brutal to be like battling uphill, literally uphill. You know what I mean? It's just going to be very brutal, I think, on a lot of guys. This fight's at 185 pounds. He is 34, almost 35. He got finished twice in the last year, and he's fighting 5 months later. I don't know. It sounds crazy, but I think Medina might get finished. But I could also, like, the risk there is, like, you could also very clearly see Medina just, like, eating jabs, and Gandra kind of just, like, bop, getting his ring time as an experience in a fight that he's easily controlling and staying safe himself and not risking gassing out himself. Like, you could easily see Gandra just kind of punching bagging him to a decision, landing 30 strikes around. So it'll be Gandra for me, obviously. Moving on. She'll be certified Gandra.
I didn't even say if I had him yet.
Oh, you didn't say your opinion yet?
No, but I am taking Gandra. Like, that's a no-brainer. Like, okay. I was gonna go into the point of like his last 2 fights. Medina got knocked out, submitted, and then unanimous decision the last 2, but even before that. So It'd be different if it was split decision and like, oh, I watched that fight. He might have won that. But like, no, he's getting his ass beat every single time. This guy's not – he shouldn't even step in the damn octagon, let alone fight Ryan Problema.
And his Contender Series fight did have like some element. Like that's why he got in off the loss in the Contender Series. It was competitive, and he took a fucking beating, like big time. You know what I mean? But showed a lot of heart, was fighting till the end. I think maybe won some of like the later minutes of round 3, which is why everybody in their head is like, oh, this guy doesn't give up and fights really hard. And even against Zach Reese, like Zach Reese was a giant favorite in that fight, and he took him to a decision. But then
he's going to show a lot of heart when he doesn't get his hand raised in that victory. You know, he's going to show a lot of heart standing there like this and not like this. You know,
what I want to know is, I want to see the Hunter Campbell, Sean Shelby texts that get leaked about guys like this. Because I almost feel like they're nicer than like guys who are good and like have like a 2-2 record in the UFC. Like this guy is straight up 0-3 in the UFC, 0-4 if you count Contender Series, and they're probably still like, oh no, well his name's Jose. We'll get him on the Mexico City card. People will buy tickets thinking he's from Mexico. Like we got a place for him. Don't worry. Like we will need somebody who we want to win. We'll need to give them a fight. So keep him on ice. Like 0-3, like he's in no danger of getting cut. And then you have guys like who win fights and get cut. And you're like, what is going on here? You know, Dana White will say like, I'm only interested in signing people that could be a UFC champion. So does that mean the moment you find out they can't be, they're out of the UFC? Because we know for a fact Jose Medina cannot be a UFC champion. So,
you knew he wasn't going to be a champion when he couldn't win on the Contender Series.
Yeah, that was.
But you still brought him in anyway.
I know there's just spots to fill on the roster where sometimes it's like you can keep your job a lot better if you fight a certain way and they know enough about you to put you in these like key spots. I mean, if he goes 0-4 in the UFC, he'll be cut, right? Like we can all say if he's 11-7, he'll be cut. Like that would make sense. Tai Tuivasa still's got a fucking job apparently. So
dude, that shit makes. Don't even get me fucking started on.
And it's always like the tubby punching guy
in the heavyweight division. It doesn't make sense. That shit makes me so irrefutably mad. He should be cut from the UFC. He hasn't been good since his last fucking shoey. He does not deserve to be in the UFC. That shit makes me so mad. How are you gonna lose 100 pounds for your weight cut and still lose some more weight, fat ass?
I'm gonna refute that you're actually mad.
Huh?
You said it makes you irrefutably mad. So I said, I'm going to refute that you're mad. No, I'm just kidding. It makes me pissed too because Luke and I, you know, a favorite on this show, a guy named Martin Boudet. He went 6-1 in the UFC and got cut. And he's a heavyweight. In the shallowest division in the UFC, they cut him because he was too good. He was beating up all these guys. And they said, get him out of here. He's pretty much like Fedor. Yeah. It doesn't make any damn sense.
He just fought Will Fleury in December and lost. He got knocked out in round 1. Will Fleury,
Martin Boudet?
Yeah.
No way.
And Will Fleury, who'd I see? I guess I saw him fight in Bellator. I don't even know. But, yeah, I mean, Martin Boudet, yeah.
That makes me, that kind of.
Cut on a 3-fight winning streak. Like, that's crazy. All right. Next, we got Imanol Rodriguez versus Kevin Bjorhaas. You guys have all heard of the Imanari roll. This is the guy who invented it, Imanol Rodriguez. And he's coming off his Contender Series win. Knocked out Rokon Kiakau with uppercut. Only 6-0. Taking on Kevin Bjorhaas, El Gallo Negro, the Black Cat, who beat Ronaldo Rodriguez, who won on to the UFC against Victor Diaz in the Contender Series, lost to the champ Josh Van, got knocked out by Alessandro Costa, and beat by Suma Derji. Peruvian Kevin Bjorhaas, I really had higher hopes for him. I almost wonder if I need to take him here as an underdog because he's only 28. He's 5'4" to this guy's 5'6". 4-inch reach advantage, trains at Pitbull Martial Arts Center, you know, with motherfucking not Patricio Pitbull, but with guys like Claudio Puelles, not the best, but Peruvians. Yeah, man, I kind of have to go with Kevin Bjorhaas here. At the end of the day, I just think that this is at altitude. He is from Peru. He has insane cardio. And I think he's a good fighter. And plus 310, it's like this kid's making his debut in Mexico City
Look, he fought in the Ultimate Fighter. He fought in the Contender Series. He's training with Daniel Cormier right now.
Oh,
take it back. This is Imanol. It was the bad guy versus DC season of the Ultimate
I
Fighter.
watched the whole season. How don't I remember this guy?
He lost to Joseph Morales in a split decision. Very, very close fight.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I mean, look, I'm sticking by it. I'm sticking the fuck by it, dude.
Wow.
DC's a busy guy. He's not the best coach. Busy guy. I'm going with Bioras. Sorry. I can't not. I literally can't not.
All right. Well, I'm going with Imanol for all the reasons I was telling Luke to cut it out. So I got to go with Imanol on this one. I'm confident that he's going to win this. You know, I didn't necessarily think he was close to winning that fight on the Ultimate Fighter against. Well, obviously he was close to winning a split decision, but I didn't think he was going to make it as close as it was. Joseph Morales went out there and he cut through everybody like butter, even Albie at the end. So I got to go with Imanol. I think he's good. I think he took an appropriate time off. I think he did really well in his Contender Series fight. I think that this kid's got a bright future. I think he's got all the right people around him. I'm going with Imanol.
I'm also going with Imanol for all the reasons that Alex stated. I'm not going to beat a dead horse and just re-say all the same shit. Imanol, he's bright. He's young. He's bright. He's got a lot going for him. He's gonna get it done.
Too young. Too much.
He's Mexican. He's
too
Mexican
young,
in Mexico.
That's what you sound like, bro.
Luke, he's not a Taco Bell Mexican. He's a Guadalajara Mexican.
Too soon for Mr. Rodriguez. DC led him astray here. He's falling into what I call a Peruvian trap, a Peruvian necktie.
The Peruvian tough pepper, if you would.
Edgar Chairez versus Felipe Buenas. Felipe Buenas coming off that loss to Rafael Estevam 6 months ago. Before that, submitted Jose Johnson with an armbar. Then got knocked out by Josh Van 2 years ago. That's his last 3 fights. So 36 years old, only fought 3 times in the last 2 years, taking on 30-year-old Edgar Chairez. Edgar Chairez, real spotty record. He lost the decision to Tetsuya Taira, who will be challenging for the belt. The whole thing with Daniel Lacerda with the premature stoppage. Then he submitted Daniel Lacerda in the fight.
But Luke, you thought Daniel Lacerda was Conor McGregor-esque, right?
I did. I still think he is. He's even more like McGregor now. Hasn't gotten a win in the UFC in many years and is not in the UFC right now. All right. Edgar Chairez is the pick for me. When he fought Josh Van, he didn't get knocked out. Also, I think that, he's got height, reach, age, 6 years younger, lowest weight class, 36-year-olds don't do well. I'll predict that Felipe Buenas misses weight for this possibly. I'm going with Edgar Chairez by decision.
Yeah, I'm going with Chairez too. I think that he's a great fighter. He's gonna do really well in this fight. He's a guy who people don't hold as highly as they should. He's really good in there, and as he beat Luke's hero, Daniel Lacerda, Conor McGregor-esque guy, 0-5 in the UFC, Daniel Lacerda. But in those first couple minutes when he's bouncing around out there, looking like McGregor, there's no one better. Give me Mr. Chairez here. Mr. Chairez by submission. Nope, knockout.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of think maybe a knockout is possible. Just being at altitude, like I said, Chairez fights with volume, puts it on guys. He could. I see a lot of guys this card maybe wilting under the pressure of the altitude and just kind of taking a knee. What do you think, Adam?
Favorites are the favorites for a reason. I'm also taking Chairez in this fight.
We're more like Dan every day.
In this episode, dude. I don't.
That's
the famous Dan back. We got Dan. Here we go.
That's the famous Dan. That's pretty much exactly what Dan would say. He said, "Vegas knows something. Vegas knows something we don't know."
They're a little fishy, but favorites are favorites for a reason. I think Chairez has this fight. To be honest, a little more experience, a little more play. Mexico, fighting Mexico, no brainer. Give me Chairez.
Next, we got King Green taking on Daniel Zellhuber. Daniel Zellhuber back-to-back losses, 26 years old, though, 6'1", 6-inch reach advantage over Bobby King Green. King Green, I'm going to do my impression of King Green. He goes, man, when I heard about this fight, I had to look the kid up, and, his nickname's the Golden Boy. Well, I'm going to show him I'm the Golden Boy. I said, no, man, no. He ain't the Golden Boy. I'm from the Golden State, from California. Look at all this gold I got on. I'm the Golden Boy.
He's got a little bit of a lisp, too. Not as cute, though.
That's just more of like a regional kind of like slang kind of thing. You know what I mean? Or it's also, he also has grills in a lot of time, too. But
true.
I love King Green. I have a lot of respect for King Green. Daniel Zellhuber, you want to talk about Zach Reese type guys. You want to talk about guys who had a high ceiling and really haven't lived up to it. I mean, this kid was getting served up fucking opponents, man. I mean, he was getting served up spots, like putting him on the Sphere, putting him in Mexico City. He'd be co-main event in this fight if it wasn't for if it wasn't for his losses. Like he might be main event. If they had any kind of parity to put him against somebody at 155, if it wasn't such a log jammed up division. But Daniel Zellhuber really like could be the next generation. He's 26. Like he could be if he gets right, because these serve up jobs, they give him guys like Francisco Prado, Lando Venata, guys he outsizes, guys he out youths, and he's fucking decisioning them. You know what I mean? Then you give him Esteban Ribovic, and it comes back to bite him in the ass. He loses the split decision. Give him Michael Johnson. Bites him even more. Unanimous decision loss to 55-year-old Michael Johnson. And that was 7 months ago, guys. So is there any we just saw Bobby Green go out there and fuck up the guy whose name we don't even remember anymore. Michael Johnson, this guy's 39 too. Bobby Green and Michael Johnson are the same damn age.
Lance Gibson Jr.
Lance Gibson, LGJ. Yeah, listen, Lance Gibson Jr., like, Bobby Green pitched a shutout against him. He wasn't in that fight for a second. He controlled the fight safely, methodically, brought the fight aggressively, entertainingly. I don't see any fucking reason why Bobby Green can't beat Daniel Zellhuber. I don't see any fucking reason why I should have to pay minus 500 yet again for Daniel Zellhuber here. You guys know me. There's in a million years, I don't like betting on a 40-year-old guy against a 26-year-old kid. I have to really believe that this kid, Daniel Zellhuber, made some kind of turnaround. I mean, he looks enough like Ryan Garcia. Why don't you fight like Ryan Garcia? Why don't you got hand speed like Ryan Garcia? Why don't you utilize that frame? Why don't you frame mug Bobby Green? I don't know if he's going to be able to. I'm not getting caught with my pants down and Daniel Zellhuber holding my fly. I'm going to pick formally King Green. It'll be a tentatively bettable fight, but not really one that I even want to bet. I just want to kind of sit back with my popcorn.
This late in the card, you can't say tentatively bettable, because once a couple of those other fights lose.
No, I just mean it's not a parlay pillar. It's not like a big, massive bet on Bobby Green money line. It's not like a Bobby Green by now. It's not like, it's more of a fight that I'd rather just hope that Bobby Green can get a win and not be rooting to make small money on a giant favorite in Daniel Zellhuber, just so I can not be able to enjoy a Bobby Green victory, right? Because I was on that with fucking Lance Gibson Jr. He was an underdog against Bobby Green. I picked him thinking the age. Well, two things are true. Bobby Green, sooner than Daniel Zellhuber has fought Lance Gibson Jr. and showed us that he can win a decision. That was not no split decision either, by the way. It's fucking easy. Probably won all 3 rounds. So it's like, okay, Bobby Green showed us that 2 months ago. Very recent. I don't have to wonder what Bobby Green's level is. Now, Lance Gibson Jr., is he as good as this kid? He's as good. They've both done this. Like, what more has Daniel Zellhuber done? He has a higher ceiling for sure than Lance Gibson, but resume to resume, like, not that much better. Zellhuber's resume is not that much better. So my point here is, if Zellhuber lost to a 39-year-old 7 months ago, and King Green beat, how old's Lance Gibson Jr.? 31-year-old Lance Gibson Jr. 2 months ago. The data is there for me to say I can go against my normal rule of fade the old guy and just say, hey, I'll ride with Bobby Green. I'll give my support to Bobby Green in this fight, because Daniel Zellhuber hasn't earned it. He hasn't fucking earned it.
He hasn't earned shit, and he certainly hasn't earned a -500 favoritism in this bout. I mean, King Green, Michael Johnson. Can't really spot too many differences between them. The only difference is that King Green has his hands down a little bit more and has better head movement, where Michael Johnson throws a little bit harder, I would say, than King Green, Bobby Green. I'm going with Bobby Green as well, Luke. I think Bobby Green is a little slicker than Michael Johnson, where Michael Johnson has a little bit more power. I think that Bobby Green could get tagged a couple times, but due to his hands being so low, the massive disparity in reach here. But Daniel Zellhuber, he smiles too much. You know, he's a little soft. He's a little cupcake. You know, he's a 6'3" Kiwi, 6'1" Kiwi looking guy. He looks like he just smiles a little too much for me. And King Green, he's not about that smiling shit. He's about that raw dog shit. Give me King Green. I think he wins this one. Adam, who are you taking here?
This might be the first time that I don't agree with either of you. I think it's Zellhuber by whatever the hell he wants. I think Zellhuber is going to come in here with something to prove. He's lost his last two, and he's supposed to be this new face of the UFC, supposedly. He's coming in here with like, hey, I need to step it up or else I might get cut, unlike Tai Tuivasa. Bullshit. I think Golden Boy has the better gym, Extreme Couture. I think he has the better skills. He's younger. He's sharper. I just think that King Green is a little too old. He even showed that in the Paddy fight, getting submitted via triangle choke. I will say, good on him for just, getting out, not tapping. Good on him for that. I'll give him that. Lost a few brain cells doing it. Worth it. I think Zellhuber has something to prove, and I think that he's going to do it against Bobby Green. He's going to go out there and he's going to not maul him. I do agree that -500 might be a little crazy, but I think Zellhuber by whatever the hell he wants, and I think it's going to be knockout.
Okay. I can see that happening. He's got a similar frame to Jalen Turner, who knocked out King Green catastrophically. Terrible. One of the worst reffing jobs I've ever seen. They let Jalen Turner hit him 17 times when he was stiff as a board on the ground. But, I can see where you're coming from for sure. It's just a little too rich for my blood. I'm not going to spend $500 to $100 on Zellhuber.
And I understand
he just lost to an old-ass man, Michael Johnson, not but 6 months ago?
And I see your guys' points. And I counter your point with Bobby Green just fought 2 months and 6 days ago by a split decision. Now, Luke was saying, it wasn't split. He won all three. Sure, that's fine. Even if we do say that, that was still 2 months ago. He was still getting battered around 2 months ago. For a 40-year-old, 2 months is not enough recovery time. Zellhuber by whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, no, that's not. I'm prepared to be wrong with this one, but I just more want to get out of the way of it because I want to be able to enjoy a potential underdog win. And I wouldn't know if Zellhuber could basically win a decision, or I wouldn't know how he would win. Bobby Green, it's hard to even though he's at a Extreme Couture, it's hard for him to find somebody who's going to fight him and train with him like Bobby Green's going to fight him.
Right.
It's a mix of that chaos while also having good kind of Wonder Boy-esque safety. I mean, Wonder Boy, what's he doing? He's doing a Philly shell. What's Bobby Green doing? He's doing a Philly shell. They're doing a bladed karate Philly shell, right? That's the whole thing. So it's kind of like that, Bobby Green, when he gets out athletic or, out submit, obviously he'll always be able to get submitted in round one. But I don't think Zellhuber is going to be able to take him down and choke him out. He could actually, maybe, now that I think about it.
And I was like, damn, Patty. That's my impression of Bobby King Green.
That's a good one.
Here's my impression of Bobby King Green. That's when he got submitted, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Next up.
Marlon. Oh, no, I just was going to say I wouldn't say anything bad about Bobby Green.
Well, he technically didn't say anything. He mimicked.
I know.
There's a huge difference there.
Bobby Green is very he's very reachable. He's very he's not like one of these far away UFC fighters. We could easily run into Bobby Green.
Really?
You think so?
Oh yeah, we definitely, I'm at the club, he's at the club. I pull up in my 358, he pulls up in his 358, you know what I mean?
I don't go to the club. I do not.
You would if you were with me. And now it's gonna be awkward because he's gonna see you. He's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I did see you on the podcast. You that funny guy."
Then it would be a hell of an honor.
You the mime, right? Do some mime stuff for me now.
Taken away by the cops for slapping the shit out of somebody who said that he's not a very good fighter, but because he's 40 years old.
He's doubling down. You should just stand your base. You might be able to take Bobby Green.
I'm willing to double down.
Pounder. He's you're like Bradley Martin, dude. You just have to squeeze him.
No, but some of these guys, like for real though, like they are little pipsqueaks. You know what I mean? Like Bobby Green, not one of them in my opinion. But like me, I'm like 280. Okay,
Dude, look at me just fucking frame mogging Max over here.
You got mogged, bro.
Well, only because my shirt was tucked in.
That is not the only reason.
If your shirt's tucked in and another guy's shirt's not tucked in, you're getting mogged. Like
you look like somebody that Dan Hooker would be hanging out with.
I'm on my. Excuse me, sir. Can I save you some money on your wireless?
Yeah, exactly that.
Look, you're about to give me some car insurance information, dude.
Dude, it's crazy. I look like Jake from State Farm. It's terrible with my lanyard. All right. Chito Vera taking on David Martinez. They call him the Doctor.
In this card, they have two of Sean O'Malley's opponents that got teeped up by him, that got absolutely crushed. And something that just plays in my head is that knee from Sean O'Malley straight into Chito's forehead. That sound, that still lives in my head rent-free, and that shit was years ago. I remember, I think I might have even sent it to you two on Instagram when I was like, not just getting the UFC because I've been a big fan of it, but like slowly like learning more and more about it. I think I sent that to you and I'm like, holy shit, how is he not dead? Cheeto's got a crazy chin on him. But that being said, David Martinez sweeps him. I'm taking David Martinez.
All right, let me just say a few nice things about Marlon Vera before I say many, many things he's not going to like. I respect Marlon Vera as a man, as a father, as an American immigrant. I respect him as somebody living the American dream. I respect him as somebody who works hard. And that all being said, he's got what I like to call the Action Bronson effect, also known as the Jelly Roll effect, also known as the Joe Rogan effect, also known as a combination of all motherfucking three, because I bet he's got all three of their numbers in a fucking group chat. He hangs out with Action Bronson. He puts on his best, fucking... I don't even know what is a nice brand anymore, you know what I mean? But he puts on his Diet Starts Monday, his finest kith, his finest garments, right? From
pieces, Luke. They're called pieces.
Yes, streetwear. And he puts his stuff on and his little sunglasses, and he goes and hangs out with Action Bronson, and they're up to God knows what. You know what I mean? Then he goes on the Joe Rogan experience, you know what I mean? Then he's getting taken through the car wash of smoke up your ass blowers, right? Worst thing that could ever happen to a fighter. Exactly why I kind of thought, not Sean Strickland, but like Patty the Batty, and not even really Patty the Batty, but who's a better example? Like Izzy, we saw kind of Izzy go through this like stratospheric fame, and he held it for a long time, but he was also getting favorable matchups and low risk fights, like when he fought Jan at 205. You know what I mean? Like Izzy kind of had a lot of runway to like let this shit kind of breathe, and he was also more apt for the role. But I feel like some guys, Izzy, you really just need to be a single man. I think if you're a married man with kids, and now all of a sudden sometimes you're hanging out with Jelly Roll and sometimes you're hanging out with Action Bronson, you're distracted. You're fucking distracted. Like, anybody who has kids knows there's no room in your fucking brain for shit. Like, for other things. I will meet people, spend hours with them, and I'm like, I don't know this guy's fucking name. Like, there's no room in my head. I got Bluey songs, Frozen songs, Miss Rachel songs in my head most of the time.
Shout out Miss Rachel.
So you see her and Bilal Muhammad right now. So
yeah.
As long as it's not.
Yeah, I just think that Chito Vera is not hungry, has a bit of a Super Bowl hangover. Now that being said, it is kind of like the era for the Sean Strickland, I would say, was in a similar spot. But again,
I must have forgot. Chito Vera
wasn't married, and had has no children. Recently married, right? No children. Marlon Vera's got kids running around. He's got his wife chasing him with a frying pan, going through his phone.
His wife looks so sweet. I don't think she'd ever do something like that.
Well, when you come home after a 3-day weekend with Action Bronson and these kids have been hanging all over the fucking mom for 3 days, how do you think you're going to be received? Like, oh, tell me again about the natural wine you tried with Action Bronson. Shut up. Take the fucking kid to the park. I'm losing my mind over here. That's how it would go, I think. Something like that.
Do you speak from experience?
Yes.
My wife's cool as shit. My wife would love if I went and did all this, but I'm just being realistic. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, time and a place for everything, and it's called college. Okay. Marlon Vera. The tape's been studied. I think if this kid Martinez can beat Rob Font, he can beat Marlon Vera. Because, even though that Luke Vera beat Rob Font, dude, Rob Font like tripled him up in strikes in every single round and just found a way to get cracked with something big at the end of almost all 5 rounds. Like, Marlon Vera would lull him to sleep and take an ass whooping for 4 minutes of every round in that fight, and then bang, 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 almost drop him or rock him like at the end. And that's what the judges
remember. From, Luke?
What?
And where's Rob Font from?
Boston.
Bingo.
So I think that Rob Font is very good. And if this kid could get past him, that's a big test. And that was pretty recently. And he's been running up quite a little run here over the last year and a half. Gets into the UFC. This will be his 3rd UFC win against a gigantic opponent. I don't know that they're setting up this kid for nothing. You know what I mean? I think that Dan always says, like, Vegas knows. I think the UFC knows. And I think the UFC knows a lot. And that's why guys like Jose Medina are still on the card. And guys like Marlon Vera demand a big paycheck. They negotiate hard. He's like a Masvidal kind of guy. And he's coming in here, co-main event. They need a name, tough negotiator. And they're like, all right, well, fuck you. We're giving you somebody who we need to build then. If we're paying you for your branding and your marketing, we're going to suck every bone. We're going to suck every bone of you dry, put it all into somebody who we can pay 35 and 35. And David Martinez is at home going, what the fuck? I'm getting 28 and 28. Luke thinks I'm getting 35 and 35. I would get you 35 and 35, David, 100% for this fight. If you're not already getting that, I would get you at least 35 and 35. And I'd be like, and if he finishes Vera, he's getting a bonus. Like, I don't care if he finishes him with a fucking toe hold, he's getting a bonus. All right. As your manager, that's what I would do for you.
Well, now everybody who gets a finish gets a bonus. So
no, but I'm talking POE, PON, POTN.
Gotcha.
Performance of the night.
Otan. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. And honestly, I hope that, like, I think, like, there should be, if I was running the UFC bonus system, I'd be like, all right, there's what's called this fighter got robbed and we all feel bad for him bonuses. We'll give a couple guys that. So, and I think they're doing away with those, like, entirely. And I think that's a crying shame because
we're taking care of him, okay, kid. All right, we're taking care of him, kid.
Yeah, they're doing away with that. Like they're like, no, it's if you get a finish, you get a bonus. If you get a performance bonus, you get a bonus. If you win, you get your fucking win money. But it's like, what happens if there's a draw? If there's a draw, it's both guys just get their show, neither gets the win. That's how it should be. And there should be more 10-8 rounds and more draws where both guys are pissed. Because I want 2 guys. I don't want one guy like, whoo, really got away with that one. I want one guy like, fuck, I should have did more. And the other guy like, fuck, I should have did more. I want both guys like that.
That would solve a lot of problems.
A lot of problems. And guess what? You get more situations where guys go like, I'm down 2 rounds, but I can get a 10-8 round here and at least fucking rob him too,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dan Hooker, he said he likes to be the gatekeeper now,
Yeah, or at least it's like, or at least I don't have to get a loss, like here, like I'm gonna fight tooth and nail to like not have a loss. Like I'll just have a draw.
Yeah.
And if you draw, we automatically run it back. You fight again. You don't even need to ask us what your next fight is. It's you get back in there with them because we got to figure this out.
Sudden victory.
Sudden victory would be sick.
Yeah, I hear you. And Marlon Vera, another one of these dumbasses. Luke said all the nice stuff, so I don't have to. He's another one of these dumbasses that is a quote unquote slow starter that gives up the first round entirely.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, well, he always does that, so it's okay. It's not fucking okay, dude. You have 15 minutes for your life right here. You're gonna give up 5 of them, give up 1 round.
I mean, sorry to interrupt you, but between Luke Rockhold, Mackenzie Dern, and Chito Vera, Jason Perillo has his work cut out for him.
Oh yeah,
3 people who don't fucking listen.
3 people lazy,
not
Mackenzie
lazy,
Dern,
but like just
Mackenzie Dern and Chito Vera are lazy. They're lazy bones. They sit in the corner. Jason Perillo's like, all right, Mackenzie, I want to see a 1-2. She says, she doesn't even understand what he's saying. Ever since she left Arizona, she don't know no English. She don't speak no English.
Caralho.
Jason Perillo's might as well be speaking Chinese to her. Okay, she's not listening. Chito Vera, every time Chito gets in the corner, Chito, we need you to start coming out now. We need you to start actually fighting. Stop.
All right, we downloaded in that round. That's Jason Perillo will say it for all of us to hear. I'll be like, all right, we took that round off, downloaded some information. All right, now we got to put some volume together. We lost that round.
Literally, he says it from the rooftops. He tries to get these guys to do, and Luke Rockhold, he's like, Luke, please stop fighting.
With Luke, he's like, I can't be party to this. Anymore.
I can't have my name associated to this.
Yeah, with Mackenzie, it'll be like, okay, take her down. Use your jiu-jitsu you've been training your whole life, and she goes, yeah, and just starts swinging for the fence. He goes, all right, hey, want to test out some of that striking? I got you. Okay, round 2. Let's tighten it up. 1-2, and in for the takedown. And she doesn't shoot a fucking lick of a takedown until round 5.
Yeah, Mackenzie Dern, dumber than a box of rocks. I would love to see. I want a podcast with like Chris Montino, Brendan Allen, Mackenzie Dern, all the dum-dums of the UFC. I want them all in a room. Bear DiGilio can fucking intermediate, make sure that nobody gets too rowdy in there. But I want every dum-dum. Marvin Vittori, I need him in there too. He's dumb as a box of rocks. I need all those guys in there for an hour a week. An hour a week, and we can rotate some in and out. It doesn't have to be all of them at once. It might get a little too noisy there. But anywho, fuck that. I'm going with Chito Vera. He's an idiot. He should win this fight. He has all of the tangibles. He has all the experience. Rob Font goes down. Rob Font gets knocked down by this guy. I don't think Chito Vera does get knocked down by this guy. Rob Font, older than Chito Vera. Rob Font was a pizza guy. Chito Vera is a fighter. Give me Chito Vera. I'm not putting all my eggs in this minus 280 basket for a guy who's really unproven to my standards.
No, you're almost convincing me to pick Chito Vera. I feel like if Chito Vera wins, it's almost like the bad kid in class got away with pulling the teachers.
And that's how it's going to be, Luke. Like, Chito Vera gets rewarded for bad behavior all the time. It's evident. It's clearly evident. All he does is get rewarded for bad behavior. He's going to get rewarded for bad behavior again. I'm just going to be on the right side of it. Okay? He's not going to lose every fight he ever fights again. Unless, he keeps doing what he does, where he doesn't fight at all for the entirety of a fight and tries to get a Hail Mary, move.
I kind of need to see these guys in the cage together because, in my opinion, it's like if Chito Vera is hanging out with Jelly Roll, ripping dabs with Action Bronson, drinking natural wine, doing all that shit, and not training to like the level he used to be training, even like leading up to the O'Malley fight. Yeah. If he's at all discouraged, and it shows in the form of not having a six-pack, in the form of looking a little flabby, looking a little flat, pacing back and forth, not locked in, not ready to go, not jumping up and down at the beginning, already having that second win from the locker room. If he's not, and that's what Nate Diaz said when he was like, yo, I came out this time, haven't already warmed up in the locker room because I like hard, because I was like, I always sacrifice like the first couple rounds getting myself warmed up, so I'm just going to come out hot. Nate said that about himself. If Vera emulates that strategy and comes out here hard and with a desire to win, he wins this fight. If he's kind of on the back nine and wants to do an influencer boxing and get the fuck out of the UFC, losing is not the worst thing in the world to him. You know what I mean? And it's not about, I'm not saying he wants to lose, but I'm saying if on the other side of defeat is nothing really all that bad, and on the other side of victory is nothing really all that good, where's your mind going to go at 8,000 feet elevation when it going gets tough and you were at sea level in California hanging out with fucking Action Bronson and fucking Pink Panthers? You know what I mean? Doing a food tasting at a local tamale shop. So if that's what he's up to and he's coming to elevation to fight this guy who needs this fucking win, it's the biggest moment of his career, who do you think is going to get the edge? I think the young kid. But it's fighting. It's the UFC. We don't know. We don't know. I want to see how Vera looks in that octagon because he might look RTK. And if he looks RTK, he'll K. He'll K.
Okay. Pink Panthers is amazing, by the way.
And the odds are good.
Adam, what do you think?
I still have David Martinez. You know, you guys make great points. Chito Vera is a fun watcher sometimes, but I still think David Martinez takes this.
Yeah, I'm on Martinez too, but I want to see how they look in the cage. I want to see what's been going on. Because like you said, Vera's like somebody said, Vera's he's not over the hill. He's 33. But
I'll know from the walkout.
Exactly. All right, this next fight, who caresville, in my opinion, main event, but who gives a fuck? I'm more excited for so many other fights on this card. Brandon Moreno, the assassin baby, taking on Lonnie Kavanagh. Lonnie Kavanagh got knocked out 5 months ago by Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson got knocked out 2 months ago or 1 month ago.
These fighters wanting to jump in the octagon so early after getting their shit kicked in.
Yeah. I wouldn't go golfing,
bro. You are not recovered of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't go golfing 5 months after getting a concussion, but he's 26 years old, so he is a little bit more young, dumb, and full of,
emphasis on the dumb part. Oh, he's also from England. Oh, emphasis on that shit. Oh my gosh.
Well, Lonnie Kavanagh, talented fighter, great fighter. Nobody really expected, I think, Charles Johnson to get the jump on him like that 5 months ago, but he did, and it was 5 months ago. For that reason, I'm taking Brandon Moreno to just completely control this fight with the boxing, not get taken down. If he does, he'll get back up. His last fight, he got finished, but it was kind of a bit of an early stoppage. At least, like, he didn't get put out, concussed badly. It wasn't an early stoppage from the position. He wasn't doing enough to advance. He wasn't doing enough to defend. He wasn't going anywhere. So you have to be intelligently defending yourself. Can he take more? Yeah. Could he have taken more? Yeah. Am I kind of glad for this matchup that he didn't? Yeah, because at the end of the day, he didn't get put to fucking sleep, you know? Yeah. So, whereas Kavanagh kind of did. So I'm going with Moreno here. Minus 245, nothing sexy about it. Only question is, does he finish? And I think being that he was preparing for a 5-round fight and Lonnie Kavanagh stepping in on short notice, I kind of think Moreno, being from Mexico, training at elevation at times, I think he goes to Colorado to train. I think he gets the win, and it might be a finish because, like I said, with the elevation and it being a 5-round fight and it being short notice for Kavanagh, it'd be crazy to think that he could go all 5. It'd be a real, feat.
I've always liked Moreno even since The Ultimate Fighter. I've always just liked his personality. I've liked his humbleness, and I've followed his career throughout the UFC. I think Moreno has it, especially coming in off of a loss 5 months ago for Kavanagh. Like, you're getting battered, and you're coming in 5 months later ready to get battered again. But I don't think that's going to be the main reason why he loses. I think the reason why he loses is his cardio. Coming in on short notice, fighting Mexico City, 7,300 odd something feet of elevation. By round 4, he's going to be hands on hips. He's going to be gassed. And I think that Moreno is going to jump on that. He's going to get him against the cage. Wham, wham, wham. Herb, let him die. Dean is going to finally stop the fight, and then that'll be that.
Luke, who'd you take?
Moreno. 5 rounds, short notice for Kavanagh. Moreno more used to elevation. Better fighter, better striker, better everywhere pretty much, except maybe like if Kavanagh can get him down and maintain top position. But I think Moreno's a good scrambler, will control the distance with the boxing. I don't need to repeat myself all over again, but yeah.
No, you don't have to. I just wanted to know the fighter. But thank you for your insights. Yeah, I mean, like I have cause to pause here. I think it's a Moreno easy pick, but when you get knocked out by Charles Johnson, you oftentimes will go on to become the champion. That's just how it works. That I don't make the rules; those are the rules. Charles Johnson is a guy who will beat the best and lose to people who will never sniff a title in their life. So that's the only reason I would, hesitate here. But I'm going with Brandon Moreno. I think it's an open and shut case here. I'm sure these boys took you through the whole gambit. It's a 5-round fight. It's high elevation. Brandon Moreno has 5-round experience. Lonnie Loner, whatever the heck his name is, has none of that. So, yeah, I'm going with Brandon Moreno. I think it's going to be a pretty easy fight for him. And but if Loner wins, we have to ask how good really is Charles Johnson, because he's beaten like every champion in the flyweight division in the last 3 years, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. Couldn't agree more. All right. Think that's it. Let's go through the full picks top to bottom and get the fuck out of here. Thanks everybody for watching. Appreciate it. And let us know what you think. Let me just copy and paste this card.
We were going to go live this week, but Luke doesn't trust me with all the...
No, we'll be live again next week. Sorry, guys.
Luke doesn't trust me with all the Dan Hooker news and Oscar.
I didn't, I'm happy and impressed that I don't have to do any editing here, but I am surprised. I am very surprised. I couldn't get verbal confirmation from him. He didn't give me verbal confirmation on whether or not he would or would not.
Well, he knows I hate this Oscar Willis guy, and he knows what I think of him. So I
also just don't hate Oscar Willis. So I'm I don't want
Willis or Willits.
You say Willis, I'll say Willis. One of us will be right, and then tomato. If you're going with me, you're going with Brandon Moreno at the top, David Martinez beneath him, King Green, underdog, Edgar Charez, Kevin Bioras, dog number 2. This fight, we didn't break this one down. Santiago Luna versus Angel Pacheco.
Oh, must have missed
Just skipped it. Hey, bonus, free space, skip. I don't even want to talk about it. It's fine. Oh, I think it was taken off, I think. Wait, why is that fight on here? Oh, Angel Pacheco. It's a guy. I thought Santiago Luna and Angel Pacheco were girls. Border boy Santiago Luna coming off a knockout win 5 months ago against Quang Lee. Angel Pacheco lost to Callum Loughran by decision. Danny Silva, he's a 34-year-old 135er against a 21-year-old, minus 480 favorite for Santiago Luna. I'm going to go Santiago Luna. It's easy for me. So these guys can give their pick when they get to that part of the card.
Santiago Luna.
Easy.
There you go.
Okay, so back on track. Brandon Moreno, David Martinez, King Green, Edgar Charez, Kevin Bioras, Santiago Luna, Ryan Gandra, Aline Perez, Christian Quinones, Javier Reyes, Ernesta Caracate, Frankie Marshall, and Wes Schultz, my baby. Of those ones, the one that really stood out to me that I'm probably going to be wrong about is that Javier Reyes guy. Silva de Andrade, nobody's fool. We'll see how that plays out. Also, we got to see how Marlon Vera looks, as this fight's going down.
Brendan Vera. I haven't heard that name in years.
Not the truth. Not Brendan the Truth Vera. Okay, Alex, you're up.
All right, if you're rolling with me, you're going to be taking Damon Panache, Frankie Marshall, Ernesta Caracake, DeAndre DeAndre, Chris Montonio, Alan Perez, Ryan Gandra, Santiago Luna, Emmanuel Rodriguez, Edgar Chaez, King Green, Marlon Vera, Brendan Moreno.
All right, Adam, you're up.
If you're rolling with the most casual of casual people, we're going with Brandon Moreno, David Martinez, Zellhuber, buy whatever he wants. Edgar Chairez, Emmanuel Rodriguez, Santiago Luna, Ryan Gandra, Elian Perez, Christian Quinones, Silva de Adrange, the underdog, Ernest Carrot Cake, Francis Fire Marshall, and Wes Schultz.
All right, and the Triple B certified picks, 3 out of 4 last week. Brandon Moreno, Edgar Chairez, Santiago Luna, Ryan Gendra, Aline Perez, Ernesta Caracate, and Frankie Marshall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Triple B certified picks for you guys this week. Thank you all for watching. We love you, and we'll be back live next week to recap this card, break down the next one. Thank you all, and any last words, boys? Can we get out of here? Are we good?
I don't give a fuck.
All right, have a great night, everybody. We love you. Godspeed.